All right. Sorry, I just got like a bunch of random tabs open. I'm just trying to clean my act up over here. Get myself organized. Okay. I have seen Wall-E, yes. Great film. Kathleen, that made me laugh. Okay. There's like 100 messages on Edsby right now. What is going on? Why is Miss Kennedy sharing pictures of socks? I'm so confused. All right, let's do some attendance. It's 10:16. All right, so Paula, I saw Logan. Holy. Okay. I'll just do it as I see. Daniel, Liam, Ben have responded 1,000 times. If I missed them, that would be sad. Batten is here. Ty is here. Bassett's here. Batten, Bassett, Ty. Awesome. Hugh is here. Logan is here. Cam is here. Zoe's here. Jerry's here. Wendy's here. Wendy, Zoe, Jerry. Awesome. Who else? Kathleen. I got Cam. I'm pretty sure I wrote Cam down. Kyle, Crystal, Izzy. Okay. Kyle, Crystal, Izzy. And then I see Max as well. Kyle, Max, Izzy, Crystal. Daffy's here as well. So who am I missing? I am missing Paul. Sorry if again sometimes I miss you guys. There's a lot. Oh, there's Paul. I see Paul. Sorry. Never mind. Max, I saw you, buddy. So Yalda, David, and Lanice, I believe. I don't see them right now, so if they show up, let me know. Okay. Let's do this. So if you guys have any questions about the homework, hit me up in chat. If not, what I want you to do right now is I want you to check your OneNotes because I have sent you, let me just share it with you here, something called the Solving Trig Quiz. I sent it about 5 minutes ago. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. It should look like this, Solving Trig Quiz. If you don't have it, here's the questions. Where do you put your answers to these questions? Well, yes, do your work in here, but what I want you to do is I want you guys to go to Edsby on our class page, and that's how I'm going to get the thing marked quickly because there's a lot of you and I need to know that you guys understand this and whether we need to do more time on this or not. So if you don't understand, it's a great time to not cheat because then I will just think that you guys all understand. So try this question. If not, I'm going to do some homework questions. I'll take those up if you guys needed me to take those up. But if not, I want you to start on this quiz right now and post your answers in Edsby. I'll just type that out. It's not directly for marks, no. It's marked, the mark will go in EDSB, but it doesn't hurt your average, no, because it's like basically a pop quiz, even though I told you I was going to be like that. Put your answer in EDSB. Again, if there is any questions from that homework, if you guys had, let me know. Still missing what I believe is Yalda and David. Oh, sorry. Sure, you can use your notes. Yeah, that's fine. I can't stop you anyways, but yeah. Try your best to do it without notes, but yeah, you can use your notes. Your answers need to go in EDSB though. Turns out I don't want anything. Policy 9D. Cam, I'll get you a freaking pair. It's an apple. All right, so I'm going to do 9D while you guys are working through that quiz. Josh, you're going to have to resync then, buddy, because I have sent it. If not, you can just look here on this video, right? You can see it right here. This is where you're going to look for the question and then just put your answers in. You do it on paper right now and then put your answers in OneNote. Sorry, on EDSB. So we want to see 9D. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what section we just did. Oh yeah. It's the one where you have, and I'll just do this one on the side here. That way people can still see. So 9D was cos theta equals negative 0.2882. So if you're looking here then, I'm looking for what are the two quadrants where cos is negative, right? So I would go here and here. And I know if I draw out my cast rule, cos is negative in this quadrant and this quadrant. So basically, I don't have a nice like opposite over adjacent. So what you need to do is you actually need to solve for that angle. So I would go, in this case, theta equals cos inverse of that negative 0.2882. And if you do that, I get 106.8, we'll call it 106.8. And to me, I know that that thing falls in this quadrant, right? So that actually does tell me this first angle here is 106.8. I didn't get the reference angle, I just got that initial angle. So in order to get this one here, I need to know what that little reference angle is, right? I need to know what this is. So how could I get that? Well, I would do your 180 minus that 106.8. And I know that little reference angle in here now, that thing is equal to 73.5 73.2 degrees, which means that this also is 73.2 degrees. So what's my next angle? Well, it would be the one that goes all the way around. So that'd be 180 plus 73.2. It would be 253.2. So our second angle there. So if that's theta 1, theta 2 would be 180 plus 73.2. So that would be 253.2 degrees. So there's our two answers. Sorry, I've got a couple Teams messages here I'm dealing with. Let me just zoom out so that way people can still see the quiz. Oops, sorry. You guys shouldn't be able to see that. Let's take that off. Go back to Edsby. There you go. Or whatever this is. What do these say? The quiz says try. Sorry, I don't know why that thing keeps crashing on me like that. I'll just put it like this. Okay, I don't see any comments in the stream just yet. I am gonna go, oh, hey David, you're gonna have to go message, well, maybe I haven't even submitted it yet. No, I haven't, you're good. And Yalda was here too, actually, she's been messaging me. Oh, she's good. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So I'm just going to go on my Edsby and just see how many of you have tried this so far. Remember, you're posting, so I've got 2 responses already. Awesome, and both of them are perfect. I'll share that with you guys so you can see your answers right away. 3 out of 3, 3 out of 3. Oh, another Edsby message. Remember, feel free to shoot me a message quick. Thank you for those 2 that are done. But if you are stuck, we will take this up in a minute. Holy, it's snowing like crazy. Nasty day. Paul, that's a great question. No, there's not. No, sorry. They mean the same thing, and I am dumb and keep switching what I call it. Reference or related, it's the same thing. In university, I learned reference angle, but I think the textbook teaches related angle, so that's why my brain keeps switching on you. Sorry about that. In university, I don't think we'd use that word. I think more about in high school. I'm thinking about like when I learned math, I learned reference, and now they call it related. So they mean the exact same thing. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to check one more time where we're at. How many people? I think eventually we'll move on. We have a couple weaker responses in there. We might have to, we'll definitely take it up at least, but. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, you can actually just set them down. It'd be great. Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it. You need me to sign something? Or?
Not at the moment.
Okay, yeah, good call. Yeah, no problem.
Enjoy your day.
Yeah, you too. Holy Nelly. I got some big suckers. I don't even know what I ordered. This thing's freaking huge. I don't even remember what I ordered, but those are massive. Anyways. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. Let's wait till we get at least 10. 180 plus theta. All right. Cameron, did you? That's what she said when I was talking about those packages. You're the freaking worst. You're the freaking worst. Okay. Sorry, I've been responding to a bunch of Teams messages about the answers here. I'm going to take this up because I think we're at a bit of a standstill. So I want to go over this with some of you guys. Yeah, exactly. Who is she? So I'm going to just do that here. So if we're looking at cos x equals positive half, so please follow along if you can. That would make both of our lives easier. Well, I always draw at the cast row. I know I've done stuff a little bit weird. Oh. Okay. Somebody got the right answers, but they switched them. The answer is actually 30 and 300, but they wrote 330. And it's just because it's a short answer thing. Don't worry about it. If you wrote the whatever one it is, you've gotten it right. But let's talk about how we get to that stage there then. So, actually, I want to erase this because I want to give myself more room. Or I'll just move this just in case somebody else wants that later. There we go. So, I always like to draw the cast diagram at the very start because that helps me know which two quadrants. And I know this cosine is a, yeah, it's not even 30. It's not 30. Sorry, it's 60. I'm just reading something. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Jerry. You're awesome. I'll fix that. So which two quadrants is going to be in? Well, which two have a positive, right? It's positive a half. So I know that it needs to be in this quadrant here and this quadrant here. So I draw my two triangles. That's always step one. And so remember the names of these quadrants are 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are the two quadrants? They would be 1 and 4. So that would be that first step. And it says, what is the related acute angle? Okay, so basically, I guess I do part C before I do part B. So that was my bad. I was making this up because I forgot about Bible today. So I was doing my Bible class and I was like, that's when I planned to make the quiz, but I had less time to make it. So that's my mistake. So cos x equals 1/2. So when you're doing cos, right, I have a fraction so I can actually set up a triangle. I know that I have adjacent over hypotenuse. So 1 over 2. And then I can think about that. So there's two steps here. One is use special triangles. And if I remember special triangles, I know that I have 1, 2, the other side should be root 3. If this was 1 root 2, I know this side would be 1, right? There's the 1, 1 root 2. But if you have the hypotenuse of 2, 1, the other side would be root 3. And so if you remember, they're 30, 60, 90. 60 goes across from root 3 because it's a little bigger, and 30 goes across from here. So I know this angle in here would be 60. That's one way of doing it. The other way is if I just take my calculator out and I go second cos, right, cos inverse of 1/2, and I type that in my calculator, it's also just going to tell you 60, right? Now, I'd prefer it, right, if you guys understood these triangles, but that definitely at least gives you the first one. I think you still need to know about the triangles and placing them in order to figure out which two quadrants they're in at the very least, right? But either way, you'd be able to get this as 60. So I know that my little related acute angle in here is 60 degrees. Now, I just need my two angles. And this is pretty easy because we've got one here and then one all the way around. So the one here is just 60. We already know that, right? So this is theta 1. And I can say my first answer, I think we're actually solving for x, so I could say x1 and x2. We'll call it x1. X1 is just the straight up 60 degrees. Whereas this x2 that goes all the way around is equal to, right, if we went all the way around the full circle, it'd be 360, but then we're going to take back off because this is also 60 in here, right? So we went all the way around. It'd be 360 minus 60, so it'd be 300 degrees. So your two answers should be 60 degrees and 300 degrees. And that's how we do this. This is definitely one of the harder parts of trig. So knowing how to do this is definitely important. Based on what I'm looking at here at these answers, a lot of people got 0, 0.5, 1. I don't even know how you get 0.75, but 2 people got that. I didn't know it could give you 3/4 of a mark. Oh, maybe like half mark. I don't know. That's weird. Anyways, yeah, we struggle with that. We struggle with that for sure. Okay. I just got a message that said, how do we know the second triangle would be in number 4 there? We know that there will be 2 triangles, and we know that they're going to be there because they are both positive cosine values, right? Cos x is positive a half. So that means I look at my cast diagram, which 2 quadrants is cos going to be positive in? It'll be positive in C and A, right? These are the positive cosine quadrants. Whereas over here, right, these are negative. These are negative values over here. So it has to be either in this quadrant or in this quadrant. And in fact, it's both. You're always going to have 2 answers for both. If this was like positive sine, right? If it's sine x equals a half, well, then it would be 1 and 2 because this is where sine is positive and this is where they're all positive. All right, we struggled with this today. This was not our strong suit for sure. Let's do I was going to move on to identities, but I wonder if actually some more practice on this would be useful. I just don't know that the textbook gives you nice ones. The related acute angle is 60. Remember, we found that 2 different ways. We drew 1, 2, right, adjacent over hypotenuse, and you could either, think about that as a special triangle, or you go cos inverse, right? Move the cos across 1, 2, and it solves for 60 like that. Okay, maybe we'll try something like this. I'm going to give you guys a few questions to try. I'm going to type it out, and we'll just practice, and then you guys can ask me questions because I'm getting a lot of questions, and based on the level of our answer key, it did not go so well. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a practice day and day to ask questions on this. So let me just come up with a sheet quickly here. This would be pretty good. Oops, I didn't mean to close that. And maybe if you got perfect on that quiz, don't feel like you have to do all of these. I just want to give people a chance to try some of these here. So let me make up another sheet. Day 2 practice. Okay, so let's do solve. I'll just do a full screen. I'll just write some of these. And some of them are going to be, I'll make a couple of them pretty hard-ish, but I'll start with the easy ones. Okay, so what did we just do? We just did cos x equals a half. Let's do sin x equals a half. Tan x equals sorry, one sec. I gotta get a little napkin. Tan x equals 1 over root 3. I also want you to do tan x equals negative, tan x equals negative 1 over root 3. let's do 2 tan x equals -1. -2 maybe. Let's do just sine x. This will be a tough question, this one here. That. And then I think you guys will struggle with those two for sure, possibly. And then sine x and let's try and okay, so those 9 right there, I don't need to say 1 solve for x because they're all different questions. I am going to send this to you guys right now. Those 9 questions should be plenty of practice for today. And I'm actually going to do them and post the answers as well. So that way you guys can see how to do it. But I want to give time for people to ask questions and struggle because my Edsby is blowing up. And sorry, my Teams is blowing up with questions. So let me send this to you right now, and then I'll post the answers in the quiz answers. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll just distribute them to you. So because I think some of you guys would miss that. So let's go class notebook, distribute, distribute page. This will go in chapter 5. I don't understand what's the answer for B, what's the answer for 2. Are you guys talking about that quiz again? The answer for B is what is the related acute angle? It's 60 degrees, right? 60 degrees is the one in between the x-axis and the angles themselves. The one in the little triangle, 60 degrees. Okay. I'm going to do the answers for this right now, and I'm going to respond to people's Teams questions. Other than that, all we're doing today, we're not doing 5.5, which I've sent to your OneNotes already. We're not doing 5.5. We are only going through this sheet called Day 2 Practice, okay? And I'm going to post the answers for it right now. Cool. All right, team. I'm ending the stream. I will get back to your guys' Teams messages right away. Sorry, somebody just said, what does x in sine x stand for? It's the angle. All of these are angles, so you're solving for the angle. I could have used theta if you wanted me to. It doesn't really matter. It's just a variable. So you're just solving for the angle in those. For all of these. What are the 2 angles? Not all of them have 2. Hint, hint. Sine x equals -1 and cos x equals 1. You know, one of these might actually only have one answer. You might have to think about something that I taught you a little earlier, but you'd be able to do all of these pretty easy down here. Remember, these ones do reciprocal, and then these 2 here should be good. So I'm gonna minimize this. I'm gonna end my stream, and I'm gonna do the answers, send this to you, and then respond to those Teams messages. So you guys have a good day. Hit me up. You have 40 minutes right now, right? 40 minutes to do 9 questions. There should be more than enough time to practice this. See you guys.